Hello, and welcome to another edition of our Coffee Chat series, where we sit down with thought leaders and industry professionals to have the conversations that matter most to our digital community. My name is Hope Ukebu, and today's conversation is one that cannot be more timely: artificial intelligence. So for some people, AI feels like a very heavy term that is reserved for tech giants or even researchers. But for that young graduate that is still figuring out their career pathway, or for that MSME that is still navigating tough markets, AI is beyond the hype. AI is basically an opportunity, and it's not new knowledge that AI is already shaping the way that we work, the way that we learn, and even the way that we run our businesses. So even from the simple tools that help MSMEs manage customers more efficiently to platforms that make job seekers more competitive, the opportunities in AI are very real, and we really need to know how to access them. And so in this session, we're going to be exploring how AI can empower you, whether you're just getting started in your career or you're already building your businesses. We're going to be talking about the challenges, but also spotlight practical ways of putting AI to work. And joining me today is Moyinoluwa Okedusi. She's a country lead at Optimus Digital Future that is driving AI advocacy and skilling for Africa's development. With over 10 years in innovation and international development, she formerly led the Innovation Support Network, ISN Hubs, impacting over 150 enterprise support organizations and a larger community of over 5,000 entrepreneurs, SMEs, startups, and innovators. She's very passionate about leveraging innovation for social and economic development. Hi, Moni. Welcome to the session today.
Hi, Hope. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you here. So we'll just jump right in, right? So now many people hear about AI and immediately they picture robots or they picture big tech companies. But AI is showing up in very simple ways. So let me just start by asking you in the simplest way possible. And this is for our young people that are still trying to learn and even small business owners who might feel intimidated by that AI term. What is AI?
All right. Thank you, Hope.
All right, thank you.
Can you confirm you can hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you again for having me. I'm excited to be here and well done on this initiative. So basically, artificial intelligence in the simplest terms is intelligence of machines. So when we think about human beings, we think about ourselves that we have intelligence. We're able to think, we're able to learn, we're able to reason, we're able to make decisions, right? So typically, artificial intelligence is just the opposite of natural intelligence displayed by humans and maybe some animals. And basically, AI is simply when machines or computers are trained to think and make decisions like human beings, right? So in the simplest term, that's what artificial intelligence is. And so how does this work? Artificial intelligence systems or models are trained with data, right? Learning patterns from data so they can predict, they can recommend, they can automate tasks. So basically, AI's functionality revolves around data. Now, a lot of people think that AI started with the launch of ChatGPT in 2022, but that's not true. Artificial intelligence has been, there's been research going on, non-stop research for almost 70 years. And currently, nearly 77% of every device that you have, whether your mobile phones, whether your laptop, whether your smart TVs, they use AI technology in one form or another, right? For example, think about when you're watching a movie on Netflix and, after you finish watching the movie, Netflix suggests another movie for you. The AI in Netflix has been trained to understand, oh, you like comedy or you like action movies or you like romance, and will suggest a movie that's like what you've just finished watching. or maybe you're chatting with a friend on WhatsApp and WhatsApp auto corrects your spelling. That's AI at work. So AI is not something new, it's not something novel, it's something that has been for years now, but we're just seeing it in practice in all the devices that we have right now.
So thank you very much for how you simplified that. A lot of times we forget how powerful innovations are, the innovations that really help us in our everyday lives, and that's what AI has come to do. So on to the next question, Moi. Even though Nigeria's statistics make it seem like we have really beat unemployment, but we shall know that unemployment in Nigeria is still very high, especially among graduates. And a lot of people are looking for where they can find real opportunities. So from your perspective, how do you see AI creating real career pathways or even entrepreneurship for young people? And if I can even push that further, can you share some kind of practical example of how someone that does not have a tech background can start learning AI or applying it in a meaningful way?
All right, I think that's a very important question, because I think something else that we don't even consider in Nigeria, apart from unemployment, is underemployment, right? A lot of people are qualified to take up like um more advanced jobs or more advanced roles, but because of the lack of the opportunities, they have to take jobs that are lower than their qualifications. So apart from unemployment, there's also underemployment as well. But AI is opening up, I think that AI is opening up two big opportunities. On one hand, AI is opening up new career paths, right? Because with the advent of AI, there's going to be need for data analysts, for AI product managers, for machine learning specialists. So AI is opening up, big opportunities in new career fields, even for people without tech backgrounds, right? They can take up this roles and start learning and start preparing for the future that we are already in now. And on the other side, like you talked about entrepreneurship, right? Nigeria is a country that has a very high population of entrepreneurs, right? Small and medium scale enterprises in Nigeria typically drive the economy. And so entrepreneurs and youth who are entrepreneurs, they can tap into the potential of artificial intelligence. One, they can build AI powered services, like chatbots, like design tools and stuff. And on the other hand, they can also use AI to drive their business efficiency and operations, right? So again, the potential of AI is immense. And whether you're seeking new career paths, in the new fields that AI is opening up, or whether you still want to stick to your job as an entrepreneur or your career as an entrepreneur, you will have AI. AI can help you in whatever you choose to do. For example, as an entrepreneur, maybe you're a young person, you're running an online clothing store, or you're running a small business. You can use AI tools, like Canva AI for design. You don't need to have any design knowledge or design skill. You just need to prompt the tool, and it will give you whatever design you want. Everybody knows of ChatGPT. I don't think there's anybody today that does not use ChatGPT, right? As a business owner, you can use ChatGPT for all your marketing copy, for your emails, for newsletters, for anything that involves, copies. Right. You can also use like inventory AI tools to manage your stock. So these are opportunities that AI is providing, for young people, whether you want to start a new career path, with all the fields that are opening up, or whether you want to continue running your business, AI is here and is helping everybody be more productive, be more efficient.
Yeah, so that's very encouraging to hear. And what I took out of that is that AI is not just for people who can code, it's for everybody, you know, and that's what we want people to start seeing for themselves at the moment. And so, back to businesses, I know you mentioned some of the tools that some of these businesses use, but you know that a lot of our MSMEs really, really struggle with tech adoption, digital adoption.
Yeah.
Sometimes they think it's very expensive, and other times they're just not aware that it has a potential to grow their businesses. So, from your experience, especially working with um, businesses, SMEs, you know, um, what are the affordable tools, or should I say, like beginner friendly tools that some of these
Yeah.
businesses can use? And beyond the tools, what do you think is the biggest mind shift that they need to adopt in order to see AI as an opportunity?
Okay, so I think that I'll start with the mindset question, right? People, young people, business owners, SMEs, they need to begin to see AI as something that's not just for big companies. It's not just for the big companies, and also young people as well, even career people, not typically entrepreneurs. They need to start to see AI, or they need to stop seeing AI as something that is a threat to jobs, right? This is something that I've heard over and over again, even online, even on the streets. People are saying, "Oh, AI is coming to take jobs. AI is coming to take jobs," and it seems like everybody is, has this fear about AI. But I think that the mindset shift is something that needs to happen first of all. People need to see AI as a co-pilot, that helps you save time, that helps you reduce costs, that helps you scale. And particularly for young small businesses, right? We know that MSMEs, a lot of them are just one woman operations, right? You can use AI to improve your business efficiency, and operation to automate routine tasks. So MSMEs, you have like some tasks that you have to do over and over again. You can use AI tools, to automate these tasks to free up time to focus on other things, like your family and, having like life balance. Typically, they say entrepreneurs don't have a life, right? They work 24/7. But once you can use
Yes.
artificial intelligence and all the tools that are available out there, to automate some of your routine tasks, you see that you begin to have time to do other things and also to reduce cost as well. So I'll just quickly touch on a few AI tools. Several AI tools actually have free plans or affordable options that businesses can tap into and start using. For example, again, like we said, ChatGPT, right? Most businesses have to create content for administrative tasks, like think about emails, think about social media posts, think about newsletters, right? You can use ChatGPT, and the most important thing in using AI effectively is prompting, right? Giving it the right prompts, you can say, "Oh, I want to start, posting consistently on my social media pages. Can you develop a 7 day or a 1 month social media content planner, for me, or content calendar for me, giving me ideas on what to post, giving the AI tool some background information about what you do, about what your business does. And you'll be surprised, you'll be amazed at, the information that these tools can give you. I think another tool or another task that I know that small businesses also do routinely is creating maybe logos or flyers or images or videos for branding, for marketing. And small businesses typically cannot afford to employ a marketing team, right, or maybe a graphic designer. You can use AI tools to do all this, like Gemini, Canva AI, Freepik, Agent. A lot of these tools have free plans, right, that you can use to, develop the basic items or the basics of your logos or your flyers, right? If you now want to, be a lot more specific, that's when you need to maybe change your subscription, to a paid plan. But again, like I said, the mindset shift needs to happen first. You need to see AI as something that can help you, whether as a career person or as a business person, like I said earlier, to save time, to reduce costs, to improve your operations and your efficiency. Also, again, the most important thing of part of AI, like we said, is giving it data and, helping you to analyze your business performance, or maybe to track your orders, or maybe to predict the behavior of your customers, right? Oh, which products do my customers like based on their orders and stuff like that. So these are few ways that business owners can begin to use artificial intelligence to drive their business operations.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much, Moyi. The charge there is to see AI as something that can help you. And so it's not about buying the most expensive tools. It's about starting small. Just let the free plans work for you. And I think that
Exactly.
a lot of yes, I think that a lot of MSMEs in our community will take comfort in knowing that they can start, from small and with what
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah.
So money from this conversation and a lot of other conversations out there, we know that access, affordability, even trust are real barriers when it comes to AI adoption. But from your work with Optimus, right? Uh,
Yes.
yes. So what do you think are the most pressing challenges that our communities face when it comes to embracing AI, and how can we address it? And also, what role do you think that innovation hubs like Cafe Innovate Hub can play in order to close those gaps, especially for the youth and the MSMEs?
Okay, thank you, Hope. So typically, the challenges or the barriers to accessing AI is not different from, the typical barriers and challenges that we have for digital skills in general, right? We have the lack of digital infrastructure currently. We also have the wide digital divide. There's still a
Yeah.
lot of people that don't use smartphones in Nigeria.
Yes.
I'm sure that figure is over 100 million, if I'm correct. So there's still the digital divide, right? There's still the, access to digital infrastructure that exists currently. That's one. On the other hand, there's also the cost of tools, right? To buy a smartphone is expensive. We know that the rise in the living costs and standard of living in Nigeria currently. You need obviously a smartphone to be able to access some of these tools, or maybe a laptop. Again, the cost of having these devices is also a barrier. I think another barrier can also be maybe language barrier. A lot of these tools, were built in the West. A lot of AI tools are built in the West. And it's just of recent that we're seeing that those tools, that their bias are reducing. Right? When ChatGPT first launched, ChatGPT could not maybe come up with an image of a black person, right? Or maybe a woman with braids, right? Because again, typically this data or the data that was fed to these AI models and tools, are majorly data from the West. But again, gradually, this is gradually changing. And I believe that once more talent from Africa, from Nigeria, you know, get involved in building out, AI tools, this will gradually reduce, the bias, the ethical issues will reduce. I think another challenge, again, we've touched on this earlier, is fear of job loss. A lot of people are just scared. Oh, I don't want to start using
Yeah.
this tool because this tool will replace me, right? So that again is another challenge. But I think that again, let's talk about solutions as well. Awareness is key. Education is key, and which is why this initiative, by Cafe Innovator Hub is very, very important in addressing the awareness challenges. Behavioral change in anywhere is difficult, right? When people have been doing something the same way over time and you're trying to get them to do something in a different way, it's difficult everywhere. But education and communication is one way to try to mitigate this challenge. Another solution again will be affordable access, to some of these tools. Maybe smartphones, maybe computers, or maybe some of these AI tools, which is where the hubs come in, right? Typically, innovation hubs, across Nigeria, across Africa, have acted as a bridge, they've acted as bridges, between people, building out their innovative ideas, giving them access to electricity, as basic as that sounds, giving them access to internet, giving them access to, training programs, right? And I think that innovation hubs also have a role to play, in disseminating AI knowledge, right? Running some of the trainings or mentorship or pilots that can show young people and even SMEs, practical AI applications, and also creating safe spaces for them to be able to learn and for them to be able to experiment. So I think that innovation hubs, are even much more important right now, in this age of AI, to show people what's possible and to give them access to infrastructure and digital tools.
Okay, so thank you very much. That's why platforms like Cafe Innovate Hub exist, to make sure that nobody is left behind as the world moves forward to technology. So we are a step closer to the end of this session for today. And it's been very interesting. It's been very, very educational. Thank you so much, Mori, and thank you for breaking it down in simple terms for us. If you had just one piece of advice to give to any young graduate or any small business owner today about embracing AI, what would that be?
Okay, so I think my final statement would just be that AI is not about replacing people, right? AI is about empowering people. People need to have a mindset shift to start seeing AI as a co-pilot and seeing that with the right skills and mindset, young people and MSMEs in Nigeria can use AI to unlock new levels of growth, new levels of creativity, and new levels of competitiveness. So I think that's been my final word.
Okay, thank you so much. So,
Thank you so much for
if
having me, by the way.
yeah. So, for our community watching, it's important to note that AI is not something to be afraid of, but something that you can begin to prepare yourselves in. Like Moyi said, it's not stealing your job, right? It's helping you be better at your job and more
Yeah.
productive. So,
Yeah.
for those of us that are quite curious about AI and are not sure where to start, you heard Moni share how you can start with the free tools. But really, the first step is start. If you don't know, ask questions. Search for free courses online, or maybe you're someone like me that likes to experiment with new tools. Just start. And so we've come to the end of today's session. Thank
Can I
you
just
so
quickly
so
add
much.
something based on what you said? So you talked about free tools. I just wanted to include that Optimus Digital Future has a free AI course in partnership with Harday Business School. It's called Everyday AI. So this is like a very basic course. It's free for you to learn, the basics of AI. You can learn the basics of prompting. You can learn the basics of how to use AI to generate text, images, and videos. So people just check it out on artiverse.org. It's called Everyday AI course, and it's free.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Moy.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for having me.
thank you to everyone for watching this video. Hopefully, it's able to impact you and help you learn better about AI. So, until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.